So one of the main reasons that you need to power up your fleet, even if you're not interested really in the fleet side of the game, is these fleet challenges. So there's 3 fleet challenges, one for each of the starting capital ships. So one of them gets you training droids, which I believe is Mace Windu. That one's not super important. I mean, they're all worth doing, but that's probably the least important one. This one gets, with Akbar, gets you credits. Those little shipbuilding material credits, and yeah, that you need those because ship credits, you get about, I think you get about 40% ship credits in comparison to normal credits in terms of your playing different nodes on the game. But all of the events that reward credits also don't reward ship credits, which makes the ship credits much harder to get, and you need these to level up your ships. You can also spend them in the mod store, and there's some great mods that can be bought with ship credits, but I recommend you don't do that until you've at least built up your fleet, because otherwise you'll just take too long to do it. This one, however, this ship ability materials, this is the most important one. You need Tarkin to do this one. So this is why I recommend that you start with your dark side fleet and you pretty much just make sure that that's up and going, because you need these to do your ships. Credits you can get easily by playing nodes, but these you can only get by playing the ship nodes or doing this challenge. So we'll just go in here. So I've already maxed these on my account, but I'll just show you. So at tier 1, obviously you should be able to do this straight away. So 1-star ships or higher, Executrix, which you need for all of them, and then 4 non-capital ships. And then as you go up the challenges, you need an additional non-capital ship, and you need to increase the star rating of all of your ships. So yeah, it's this is one of the reasons why you need a dark side fleet, because you need a dark side fleet to upgrade the star level on the Executrix. That's the most important thing, because obviously, like here tier 3, you need a 5-star capital ship to do that, and you can't do that unless you've got multiple regular ships at a star level that will let you upgrade that ship. Now fortunately, you can do the top tier with a 6-star ship. You don't need a 7-star ship. It's going to take you a long time to get a 7-star ship, and that'll be something that you just need to meet the requirements for, and then every month there'll be an event for each of the 3 original ships, which gives you 15 shards for that capital ship. It takes a long time to get these to 7, but that's the only way you can do it, other than like to spend crystals or money in the main stores. But it's better to do it this way. You're going to get there eventually. But yeah, this is why you need your dark side ship. So let's have a look at the rewards. So at the bottom you can see that you're just getting these basic materials and credits, but very quickly as you jump up the tiers, you can see that the actual good materials that you're getting are jumping up quite significantly. And these work in the same way as they would with characters. So, you know, greens are your lowest level ability, blues are kind of your middle level, purple's the sort of high level, and then there's the sort of yellow or gold ones, which are your sort of your omega sort of currency. Now, ship omega currency is a bit different to character omegas. So character omegas, you obviously need 5 to upgrade any ability to an omega, and obviously each character is going to have somewhere between sort of 3 and 7 skills which will require those, and then you'll need Zetas for the occasional things. You don't need Zetas for fleet ships or anything like that, but this challenge, as you can see, does reward Zeta mats, and these are guaranteed drops. They're not 0 to 1 or anything, it's you get 1 every time. So I think it works out you get like 6 of these a week, which is quite a big deal really. So that's one of the main reasons why you need to do this challenge, is just to get those Zetas. There is also a chance of getting regular omegas and purple materials for your characters. So as you can see, this actually is quite a big deal. These smaller materials, the greens and blues, by the time you can do this top level challenge, they'll become quite trivial and you won't need to worry about those on your ships. You'll still have to watch out for your purples, because it's quite easy to burn through several of those, and you're always going to need your ship omega materials. So what these ones are is you've got this one and this one, and one of them is for your ship. So this is your regular ship omega material, and those abilities kind of like, some of them at level 7 will take 5, and then some of them at level 8 can take up to 20. And it does vary between the ships, so you need to be quite careful about which ships you choose to buy the Omega materials on. I mean, eventually you're going to do your entire fleet, but in the short run you need to think, you know, what does that give this ship? Is this ship powerful enough to warrant it? Otherwise I'd just hoard it a bit until you want to power up that specific ship a bit more. Ship resources are a bit more premium in this game, so you need to be careful with it. And then this other one up here is Prestige. And Prestige is the only ability material you need to upgrade capital ship abilities, and capital ship abilities scale massively in their sort of cost. I'll just go on the ship screen and show you. Let's jump down to a capital ship that I've not upgraded much, such as the Endurance. I have upgraded the ship so I could do the Anakin event, just get through gas stage 1. But you can see here that I've still got a lot of abilities that I've not done anything with. I don't particularly use the Endurance compared to some of my other ships. I don't really have a fleet for it. I've almost got the Negotiator, so I'm kind of like, well, what's the point in going back and doing the Endurance? It is a good ship anyway, but aside from that, so when we look on here, we can see the cost is Prestige. So you start at level 1, obviously, and then it's 10 for level 2, 20, 30, 40, 60, 80, 150. So that's the big jump. The big 7 to 8 jump. 150 is quite significant, but what you'll find is that a lot of abilities, sort of like down here, they get like a really big jump in power or effectiveness at the top level, and it is different for every capital ship. Let's just go look at Chimera, because I know Chimera's got one. So like this ability, the Art of War, heals his fleet. The top level ability adds another 20% heal for a total of 50%. That is a significant increase, and a lot of the capital ships will be like that, but you need them at 7-star. So Prestige is very valuable. But back to our challenges. So with this challenge, you can use light and dark sided ships. However, you do want to make sure that you can unlock your star grade on your capital ship in order to enter the event, which is why I'm saying that you should focus on dark side ships to begin with, because you can still use those dark side ships to do the other events as well, but you really need to do this. These are my lowest power ships. Let's put 4 ships in, 4 random ships. These, yeah, you can see the levels are not like super high or anything. I've not really put any abilities on these ships, so I'm just going to play this. You don't meet the minimum number of units. Okay, what's the minimum number of units? Yeah. And some of these, you can replay these as much as you want until you beat them, and then obviously when you get 3-star on them, you can sim them. So I've put some garbage ships in. You can already see how powerful the opposing ships are. So I might not be able to beat this with this fleet. Yeah, so this isn't going to work. So as you can see, putting in a really weak fleet doesn't help you very much. Let's just call in another ship. Yeah, it's not a some of these battles are kind of like they're set a different way. This one in particular against the Endurance is that you need, he's got a very tanky fleet, so you need to put out a tanky fleet and basically have the ultimate from your capital ship beat theirs. So I'm actually going to put some real ships in. So let's see, what did I recommend? I recommend things like Sunfac, Hyena Bomber. They're all great ships. Let's put Sunfac in, TIE Fighter. It's Hyena Bomber. Probably will have. I don't know if I've got it high enough star. I think I've got it starred high enough. You might have like Geonosian Soldier. You know, probably have Spy. Yeah, stop complaining. There you go. So once you've got enough ships and you power them up sufficiently, you'll be able to clear this. You do want to 3-star it though, just because you can sim it. It takes so much time off you. As you can already see that the stat bars on my ships are much higher. These are 3 quite well leveled ships, even if they're not maxed out. I'm just going to kill Plo because he puts taunts out on characters. So one great thing about the Hyena Bomber is you can ignore taunts, which is incredibly useful, especially in this match. You don't get stuck behind characters like 5s, you can just pick your way to the back. Although I'm not going to get stuck by 5s now, call Invader. Let's just keep, so because he can ignore taunts, I can just keep going for Plo. I'm going to use the Dispel with Vader so that we can start attacking the other targets. And so this battle is all about just out-surviving the opposing fleet. You don't need to have massive amounts of firepower, you just need to not get your fleet killed. But obviously you need tanks like some FAC to just sit here and just soak up hits while you slowly sort of grind away at their fleet. And then you'll get to Tarkin's ultimate, and that'll pretty much like start swinging the battle in your favour. So I need 2 more turns. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna, I mean I'd call another ship, but I just want to sort of see if I can get to it to show you. Might not though, because I might kill him too quick. Yeah, I killed him too quick. But yeah, next turn I'd have had the ultimate. So as I say, this fleet mission, just focus on keeping your ships alive, and you'll eventually get to the ultimate, and Tarkin will call in all the TIE fighters, and that'll do a truckload of damage to the opposing fleet. That's the sort of main way you win. You kind of want to have high damage on a single target, so ships like TIE Fighter and Darth Vader's a TIE Advanced, really great at putting out that burst damage. Now, as the rewards you can see, I got Zeta, which is like the sort of premium drop for this, and then I got all these sort of high-end mats for the ships. And I'm just going to sim that for a second time. Again, you always get a Zeta, that's the thing. You get 2 Zetas every time this event's on, which is why it's so important.